Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's PDAC time and PDAC 2025, and we get started here on the Sunday, 2nd March. Commodity TV is again the TV partner of the PDAC 2025, and we are really happy to start with a young company, but really interesting company. We talk now with Mogotes Metals, and Stephen Nano is here with us. He's a director and technical advisor. Stephen,
thanks very much. Yeah, and absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. It's early in the morning. You are my first interview partner today, and Mogotes Metals, a great exploration story about gold, copper, especially a little bit of silver. You are working in the Vicuña district, and so what's going on there?
Yeah, well, we actually feel we have the extension of the Vicuña district. Significant property acquisition and consolidation there has just been announced. Mm-hmm. We have the direct extension of the Filo style alteration system, and we think the geochemistry as well. Really exciting stuff happening now. We have our field teams out, sampling a newly acquired project. We're seeing large-scale breccia systems, evidence of high sulfidation alteration, and probably also porphyry-style mineralization outcropping. It's never been sampled before, but the indications are really positive, particularly because we know that those systems on the Argentine side of the border are mineralized, and carrying gold and copper grades.
Okay.
So exciting stuff, big belt, giant systems, and we're the only juniors that can truly claim to be directly on that Miocene belt that's delivered those, fantastic discovery at Lunahuasi and Filo del Sol.
Yeah.
So,
okay, super. So that sounds to me like you want to replicate the Filo mining success, probably, because this is, to me, it looks a little bit like when I look onto your maps, that's the prolongation of the Filo mining trend, I have the feeling. And we both know geology does not stop at borders, right?
Absolutely.
So it looks like the things are really going well. You just had a news out that you said, you have now 100% of the additional claims secured from Golden Arrow Resources, I think.
That's correct.
Called. And so why was that so really important for you to get those 1,303 hectares, I think it was, because that's not large.
Yeah, so they were two separate transactions, both of them really strategically important for us. It's not only securing, that really prospective geology, but it's giving us control of 100% now of the Argentine side of the system, and the right to earn in and own up to 80% of the Chilean side. So we think that's really cleared the way for us to be able to talk to all of the major companies that are hovering around, but also particularly our neighbours that have just recently completed that $4.5 billion transaction.
Yeah, exactly. Super. So as you're a technical advisor, now I really get that you have now your hands on everything, Chile and Argentina, regarding your land package. What would be now for you the next immediate steps you want to do? You want to hopefully see what results, and what do you hope to? Where will that lead?
Yeah, so look, the next steps for us are actually already in train. So our teams are out sampling that property for the first time. The information that's coming in from the guys, we've obviously in communication with them every day. The outcrops are looking really sexy. So we don't have the geochemical results yet, but what we're seeing with the geology has been enough for us to commit to mobilise a geophysical team in. We're anticipating that they'll be in on the ground in about a week to start that program. And it's the same team with their own proprietary technology that we've used to map on the Argentine side. So we'll be able to marry both sides of the border with one large geophysical set now. What we saw from the Argentine side was two of our hottest prospects, which are Meseta, which is right up against the Filo del Sol property boundary, and Cumbre are open into Chile. And so those large geophysical anomalies are sitting beneath surface geochemistry on the Argentine side. We're anticipating that we'll see continuation of those big geophysical targets into Chile. So for us, that'll be the next critical step, is to make sure that we've got that surface work and the geophysics in place, and that'll complete our program there so that we'll have all of our targets defined. once we have those defined, we'll rank them to drill test them. And really critically here for us, because we're a junior company in that kind of high altitude area, we're being very cautious about rushing in to mobilise and start drilling. What we want to do is make sure that we understand the targets and make sure we position the drill holes as best we can with the data sets in hand.
Okay. When do you think you are drill ready then? Because this is, to me, always the next big step. And you can say, hey, now we think we know where it is, but now let's hit some holes and see what the ground is showing us.
Look, really important question. What we're hoping to do is have all the data sets ready this season. The drill window isn't closed yet. It's still a possibility, but our priority is to make sure that we've got that surface work done. So we'll make a call once we have the data in hand, whether we do proceed to drill or whether we do that in the springtime.
Okay, super. How important do you think is the deal with Filo Mining and I think it's BHP bought them, right? How important do you think is the deal for your future also regarding infrastructure and stuff like this?
I think it's really a critical thing when you're in those kind of settings where we are in the Andes. Having that large-scale infrastructure being built right next door on your property boundary is just a critical step change, because what we now need to find is not a standalone discovery. Yeah, it's part of a larger belt and a belt play. So we see that as just critical. And I guess the thing that's really important for us is that we're the only junior that really can claim to be right on the strike extent of the Vicuña district and really literally right up against that property boundary that's, our BHP Lundin's Filo
Absolutely.
project.
Yeah. Maybe you would be a natural takeover target then when you deliver.
Well, what an interesting concept.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it could happen, right?
Very much so.
Other question. You are now in Argentina, but also in Chile. Could that cause trouble that you have a national border cutting through your project, or is that something where you would say, again, no, it's not a problem?
A really good question to be asking, and the answer is really straightforward. Filo del Sol, the project itself, straddles the Chilean-Argentine border, and I think from memory it's about 60% of the resources within Argentina, and the rest is in Chile. Because both the Chilean and Argentine governments recognised a long time ago that many of these big discoveries were being made in the border zone, they have a trans-border treaty. So we're in the process of getting that treaty in place. Filo already has it. Once that's there, it means that we'll be able to mobilise people and equipment from either country to test that project. So no, it's not a problem. It can actually be, with that treaty in place, real advantage for us. At the moment, it's not stopping us. We're working with teams on both sides of the border, but it'll be an advantage to have it in place, and it's a process, right?
Super, perfect. As you are a technical guy, what excites you most so far on the project? Well, where you say, hey, wow, that's a no-brainer.
That when you are next to giant discoveries, and you can see the continuation of the alteration and the geochem and the geology, you're really in elephant country. And that term gets used a lot, but it's very real there. The three, really substantial and giant deposits in a belt there, which are, straight down through there. Los Helados, Lunahuasi, Filo del Sol. We're right next door to it. And we can see that district continuing into our property. You don't get a chance to do that many times in your career.
That's right.
And it's wonderful. We're there with many targets, and that's, again, something that's unusual in a project, to have, we have like 9 targets to choose from now to drill test. So the more targets you have, particularly if they're quality ones like this, the more de-risking you have from an exploration perspective. So big district, proven that it's producing large-scale deposits, multiple targets, junior company with small market cap next to a $4 billion acquisition.
There's one thing missing, the right metals.
the right metals, yes, and potentially large infrastructure going in.
Yeah, absolutely. Super.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
I think you have a perfect cocktail mixed here for success. That's
Yes.
how I see it. Yeah.
Yep.
And I wish you extremely well and
Thank
look
you.
forward to some very good news from you guys. I would say let the drill go forward.
We will, and thanks very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Stephen Nano from Mogotes Metals, and you heard it. The cocktail is perfectly, mixed and now in the shaking, I would call it. And things are really going well. The geophysics are moving forward. They really know where to drill then in the future here, and hopefully they can drill maybe already this year. That would be fantastic. They're on the right spot, right location, and the right metals. This is what we like. Really check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Toronto, PDAC 2025.